Today in our 2016 Jeep Patriot, we'll be installing the Draw-Tite Class 3 Max Frame Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number 75712. Here's what our hitch looks like installed. As you can see, the main body of the hitch is completely hidden by our rear fascia here. The only thing that we have sticking down is our Class 3 2x2 inch receiver here, and our safety chain loops on the bottom of the receiver. These safety chain loops are easy to use, fairly large opening, and we won't have any issue being able to clip a safety chain in around any angle on it if we need to. Some safety chain loops, you're limited and you're like a clip on the front. These, we have a full 180 degrees coverage on them. Our hitch has a nice collar that's welded on the outside edge here of our receiver to give it a nice finished look and to help increase the strength of it. On the side of our receiver here, we have our industry standard 5/8 of an inch diameter hitch pin hole to secure whatever hitch mounted accessory that we have. Towards the rear of that, we have our J-pin stabilization device holes. A J-pin stabilization device is something that is used to take some of that annoying shake, play, and rattle out of whatever is inserted into your receiver, such as a bike rack or a cargo carrier. Some of those items have anti-rattle devices built into them already, but if yours does not, you can purchase a J-pin stabilization device on our website to take care of that if you want to. Now, this hitch has a 525-pound max gross tongue weight rating and a 3,500-pound max gross trailer weight rating. You'll want to consult with your owner's manual of your Jeep Patriot and go by whichever number is lower. You don't want to exceed the capacity of the hitch or the capacity of the vehicle and cause damage to either one of them. Now, for a few measurements to better assist you in choosing any hitch mounted accessory you may need, such as a ball mount, bike rack, or a cargo carrier, you're looking about 6 inches from the center of the hitch pin hole to the rearmost part of the back bumper, and about 15 inches from the ground to the top of the receiver opening. All right, the first thing we need to do in order to install our hitch is get a support strap in place. Just wrap it around our lower control arms here in the rear. Now, the support strap is going to help hold our exhaust up. So we need to make it a little bit easier on us. We're going to lower our exhaust slightly, just so we can get to our hardware easier when we install the hitch. All right, that'll be good for us right there. Now, to the back passenger side of our muffler, we see one of our exhaust hangers. Spray it down with some lubricant so it slides off easier. The other exhaust hanger is located towards the front of the muffler on the driver's side. Spray this down with some lubricant too. Help it slide off easier. And get a pair of channel lock pliers if you have some. There's that one. Okay, with those down, our exhaust is now a little bit lower. We'll loosen our strap a bit, give us even more room. Now, in the back left corner of the vehicle, we have our smog canister here. The instructions don't say to remove this, but from personal experience, I found the hitch on this vehicle is a lot easier to install if we get this out of our way. There's 3 hoses going to this, plus an electrical connector, and then there's 2 bolts that hold it in place, and then you can just take it down and set it aside, and you have plenty of room to work, especially when you go down and torque the bolts down. So we'll start by taking this large hose here, and we'll just twist it loose and pull it off. Set it down here. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure your engine's not running and your key's out of the ignition, because you don't want to make the check engine light come on. And these other hoses here, they have a clip fitting on them. You push it on the top, it spreads the locks out, and they pull right off. And you get them out of the way there. And this wiring harness, push on the tab, pull off. You get the hose out of the way. You have access to the bolts now that hold it in place. There's a 10mm nut here towards the front, another one in the back. You remove those and get this out of our way, and it's a lot easier. Get that 10mm nut off and save it. Get the other one back here. And we'll just wiggle it on down. Set it out of the way. Now, you can see why we did that, because here's the stud for the back one. Here's where the front hole is on our driver's side frame rail for the hitch. Okay, now I went ahead and marked off our fascia with some electrical tape here where we're going to need to trim in order for our hitch to fit up in position. Now, you'll want to make sure you follow the instructions for your particular application, because some Jeep models have different rear fascias and some of them have slightly different suspensions. So you'll just follow the procedure for making the measurements and you can find out where you need to cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a plastic cutting bit on a rotary tool here, and we'll make our cuts. Okay, with the cut made, we'll just check our measurements to make sure it's correct and do any necessary cleanup that we need to do. We'll grab a second set of hands and we'll raise our hitch up in position, and we'll install our bolts in our frame rail from the outside, going in like this for the passenger side and the opposite direction like for the driver's side. All right, so we have 2 holes in our frame rail, here and here. So our bolts will go in through there, like that. Okay, so we got our extra set of hands. We'll raise our hitch on up over our exhaust here and push our bolt on through. Now with our hitch in place, you can see how our bolts just slide through the frame and go into the hitch to hold it up. Now, our conical tooth washers, the teeth will face towards the hitch and they'll go on the bolt closest to the front of the vehicle. Our lock washer will go on the back bolt. We'll repeat the same process on the other side of the vehicle. All right, with our washers in place, we'll install our nuts. Do the same on the other side. Okay, with all of our hardware in place, we'll snug it down. We'll use a wrench to hold the bolt in place and another ratcheting wrench to tighten the nut. Okay, with those snug down, we'll repeat the same process for the passenger side. Now torque them the amount specified in the instructions. All right, with all of our hardware torqued down, we can reinstall our evap canister now. Place it back over the studs, reinstall the nuts. Replug in all of our connections. We can raise our exhaust back up here. Push our hanger back on. Okay, with both those fully on now, we'll remove our support strap that we put up. And that completes our installation of the Draw-Tite Max Frame Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number 75712 on our 2016 Jeep Patriot.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.